Hi, everyone. This is Among the Realms, and tonight we have a really cool episode and a special guest, Michelle. And we're going to be talking about how guidance, from our guides and our loved ones on the other side, and how healings or anything in the spiritual end, once we decide to, kind of tune into that part, even with our intuition, how it can literally transform our life. And our saying is change your energy, change your life. And
Mhm.
everybody here has had that happen. So, you're going to hear some really amazing true stories of how it's really impacted, a lot of us. And, especially for those of you who want to delve a little deeper into it. So, we are going to start with Michelle here, and she's very excited to share her stories. Um, and I met Michelle about 5 years ago, and she amazing transformation. But she's going to tell us a little bit of how different she feels and how much she feels like it's just getting guidance. And she's gotten guidance not just from readings, psychic readings, but also speaking to her loved ones on the other side, and you know um, building her own intuition, and putting a lot of work into herself and a lot of personal growth. So you get to open it up, Michelle.
Where do I start? There's been so much. Um, as far as my life change, I mean, a huge change with everything, even health. My dad helping me out, you helping me out. It's been an amazing transformation over 5 years. Like, how many times have I said to you, Jackie, I don't know where I would be today without you and your help and the help from the guides and my dad coming through. I mean, you just can't make this up. It's
Mhm.
the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I can honestly say on so many different levels, it's changed me and helped me and health wise. If it weren't for you and my father, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I really wouldn't. I mean, think back about that with my illness and you
Yeah.
calling me in Alaska. I mean,
And you
who
Hey,
told
calls
wait,
you
you
when
wait.
you're up in
No,
Alaska?
you don't own the illness. With
no,
the
you
illness
know,
you're
yeah.
challenged with.
I'm
And
healed from it now. I'm
and
healed from
you
it
get
now.
you get info from your dad via mediumship, right? Because he's passed on.
Yes, my dad has been passed on for many, many years now. It's been 34, like over 20 years now he's been gone.
Wow.
And I was vacationing up in Alaska with family at my family's, and Jackie calls me up out of the blue. Michelle, your dad popped in. He has a little message for you. And the
Mhm.
message was lay off the candy and the junk food. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, Michelle, I'm just telling you, lay off your father's telling you that the parasites are back and they're really bad. Like, I had an issue years ago, and I got, I was on medicine and I was doing really well and everything. And then I decided to go rogue for a while and started with the sugar and the carbohydrates. And when I was in Alaska, it got pretty bad. I was really sick for a while. Like, what did I do? 3 times canceled my trip coming home because I was so sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 times. I ended up going out there, ended up with COVID from the plane. And then it just started escalating with infection, bronchitis, this, that. And that's when Jackie had called me with the message from my dad and said, your father said you better knock it off or you're going to see me a lot sooner than you think.
Mm.
And I
That's
was like,
exactly what he said.
wow, like,
Yeah.
wow. And sure enough, I came home and finally 5 weeks later and went to the doctors, and they said they have not seen something like this. The first doctor I went to, just my family doctor, was like, Michelle, we haven't seen something like this, like, ever. Like, you need to be in the hospital. This is bad. You can die. And I'm like, okay. So I went up to my Lyme doctor where I originally was going up in Pennsylvania. And I went to him, and showed him in a water bottle everything that I was spitting up and the whole 9 yards. And sure enough, he was like, Michelle, this is really bad, like real bad. And I got on a bunch of medicine and whatnot. And here I am today talking about
Screwed,
it. Like
screwed you
it
actually.
was bad.
By her talking to you, that was the catalyst to going to the doctor.
Yeah.
You had no plans to go to the doctor, just for that
No,
reason.
No, no,
You-
but and
nope.
also when she got back and found out, we started like a really heavy regimen of healing and working on getting the inflammation down and whatever other information that was coming through it, like her her vitamin levels and things like that. That and every time something came through, she listened and she would go to the doctor, and I'd be like, don't let them just take your regular
No,
vitamins. They need to run a panel on your trace minerals and stuff too. And she would do that. She'd
Mhm.
go tell them I need it all. And then they'd find something in there because she did that. A lot of people don't, they
you
don't.
called every single thing that you told me to do. I went to the doctors and said, look, you got to run this, you got to run that. I mean, you gave me heads up on, you can't make this up. You really can't. Like,
The guide
you
said, I'm
would,
just the messenger.
Yeah.
I mean, you called it on everything, every
That's
single
interesting.
thing that you told me in advance showed in the blood work. And how many
Yeah,
times did I take pictures of my blood work and I sent it to you?
she
And I was
did.
like, Jackie, look at this. You can't make this up. And you're like, Michelle, I tell you, the guides are never wrong. And they're not.
Yeah.
They're
Even
really
when we
not.
think they
Like,
are, even when we're stubborn and don't want to listen, they're still
oh, yeah, I know
they're
that one
just trying
too.
to help. If we seek the guidance, they're going to give it. But they're not going to interfere with free will and force anybody to, you know, they can only tell us, hey, if you're going to continue on this path, this is what will happen. If you decide to take this path, this is what possibly is going to happen. And then because we're not none of that is ever meant to interfere with free will. But I've always learned that if anybody's led to this life of spirituality and like how we all are, there's a reason. There's a purpose for that. And a lot of times every single one of us, I think, has a story to say how much it's transformed just our way of living, or even just if we look at people around us 20 years later, how we are and then how they are, and we're like, oh my God. I thought of that the other day. I'm like, my sister actually said something to me, and I think it was yesterday or the day before, and she's like, oh my God. Because when I told her how long it's been since I went to a doctor, she was just like, oh my God. Because, you don't think about that. It's not something you're like, it's a regular topic of conversation, but she was
No,
talking about my uncle, and she's like, you and our
Well,
uncle are.
you're
I'm like,
also
"Yeah, how you never?"
you're also in constant communication with the divine.
That's what I mean. We're
You're not exactly thinking about yourself.
yeah,
Most of the work that you do is for everybody else.
yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
if
I
we
mean,
all
the
count,
healings, all the healings you've given me. Think about it. I mean, you have, I mean, I was going through so much with the parasites, with my legs hurting, my arms hurting. You were giving me healings. And within a matter of no time of all, like within the next day, you got the inflammation down. The pain was nowhere near where it was at. I had heads up on everything. Take this vitamin, take that vitamin, have this blood work done, that blood work done. Like it was always right on. Like your healings were just totally life changing. I can honestly say, like amazing, just really amazing. Like it's the real thing, boy. Like,
Mhm.
well, and
and
you're open
I,
to receive it. Just have to be
You
open
have
to
to be
receive
open
it.
to receiving, and you
Mhm.
can't doubt. You
Yeah.
can't.
And you're also one who has firsthand experiences of when you've been given different types of guidance, when you've had sessions, readings, and have chosen to do more of the free will
like
way.
I
And
always
you
said,
come back and say, ugh. You'd be
Jackie
like,
always says, you always say to me, here, Michelle, here's the front door. Go right in. You got it made. And Michelle says, nah, I think I'm going to go around the back door, take a different way, see how that works. And never
pick a
fails.
path.
Never, ever fails. I mean, you always have free will.
Yeah.
You could guide, you could tell me, guides are saying you could take this way or you could take that way. It's all free will, what you want to do. but usually the guides give you the route to take the easy way. It may be hard in
Yeah.
the beginning.
One for more personal growth. Yeah.
Right, right. And we know that I struggle with personal growth at times, and I do my free will thing. And then I always come back at you crying, saying, I should have listened to you. But
But listen,
it's
we're
free will.
human. And one thing too is like it's normal. There's a lot of it's natural for us to want control, and it's not that easy for us to like just kind of after all these years say, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do this when we're so used to doing something a certain way. It's not, and that's like physical therapy. Like if somebody broke their arm and they had to do physical therapy to get it back to where they were, right? Or to get it brand new or whatever it is. Everything we do when we're learning lessons and growing is all about, it's like physical therapy for our whole body. Our brain, our mind, our emotions, right? And a lot of
Yes.
people make, spontaneous, impulsive decisions out of emotion, and they usually are. I always say that's always the worst. It's never going to come out right if you do it that way. But like
Never.
we have
I
to
am
still give it
living
a break
proof
once
of
in a
that.
while.
Never works. I mean, think about even my legs, what bad shape my legs were in from the motorcycle accident. I mean, by now I should have had a knee replacement. You do healings on my legs. I'm climbing ladders. Uh, I'm
Yeah,
uh, I'm
you have
I'm
to
doing
tell everybody
everything.
what Michelle does for a living. You wouldn't believe it.
No, no. I mean, I was in a severe motorcycle accident many years ago. I'm full of metal and everything. And here I am, a painter, still climbing ladders. Today, I was up doing spackling on a ceiling and sanding a ceiling. And I'm 62 years old. I never thought in a million years at this point in my life, I would still
Mhm.
be able to do everything that I do. And God's honest truth, without you, Jackie, I wouldn't be doing it. And I know that for a fact. I
My
know it
fan club.
for a fact. Fan club. Jackie, look at the medicine even that I was on. Look at all the medicine I was on.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm
You're
not
not.
on any of it anymore. It's all gone. You got the inflammation down. You worked with me with all different blood levels and telling me try this, try that. It it's literally like a miracle. It really is. I mean, you are the real thing. And that's all I can say. Like you have healed me unbelievably. And you ask my family members, anybody, the shape that I was in, the medicines that I was on, the things that I was doing. I was walking with a cane. I was walking with a
Yeah, I
bad
remember when
limp.
I met you. Yep.
Mhm.
Yes.
And even
And
when
now
you
look
first
at,
walked in, my first experience with you too is when I first met you was you didn't even get through my door and you were crying.
yes,
Always. And
always.
that's not you. You're not, because everything was so overwhelming. And when we need direction and stuff, and just needing to know everything's gonna be okay. It's hard to get out of our head when we're, first of all, fear or anxiety or life people, really toxic, heavy people who suck the life out of us, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff. And we always talk about that. You're completely different, how you,
oh yeah.
right? What we
Yeah.
learned
When
from
I think
from
about the first time I
reading,
came to
how we,
you,
yeah, how we react to things, and um approach and delivery, because you're way
I was I was a train wreck, man.
he's
Let
the
me, I
man.
mean, I would just as soon as I came in, I just felt this calm over me. I always felt safe. I felt good. Like I knew I was like it was like almost like a drug addict getting a fix. Like I felt good when I
Yeah.
was in your presence. You really, really put me together. Like you gave me the right guidance. I listened. I said I was at the end of my ropes at that time. I mean, think about everything I was going through when I first met you. And I was at the end. I said, you know what? This is I gotta try this. I have nothing to lose. I gotta try it.
So
And
how did you discover Jackie? How did you
um
know that she
a,
was
mu-
dead?
a mutual friend got me said to Jackie, I know of this girl. I think you guys would really hit it off and whatnot, because a friend of mine, we were talking back and forth about, psychics and all kind crystals
Right.
and spells and all this kind of stuff that I was into. And she said, "You have got to really meet this woman, Jackie." I said, "I would love to." And it took a little while, I think, before we met, actually, right, Jackie? Like it was a month or two, I think, before I
Yeah,
really,
elite, probably. I mean, actually, I think we're going on 6 years this year because it was during
yeah,
COVID. When COVID hit.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was before COVID, I think, that we met,
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was right before the shutdown. And back then that's when we were still doing the in-person. Now like everything's all remote. I do all my stuff remote, but you're like a bunch of states away and you're still doing all your sessions.
Most that I would not give up my sessions for nothing in the
Well, because
world.
distance, we could because we do distance healing and
Right.
remote sessions and
No,
stuff.
I
So it
get my
doesn't matter.
healings
Energy
every
doesn't know
week
any
from you.
distance.
Nope, no distance whatsoever. And I have my healings every week faithfully with you and my sessions. And like I said, there is no doctor, I believe in my own heart, there is no doctor that can keep me as well as you've kept me in the last 5 years. I mean, you have proved over and over again the kind of stuff that you can do. And look at my friend that you helped out with that, what's the name of that disease he had?
He had tardive
Tardive
dyskinesia,
dyskinesia.
which was
I
like
mean,
where you have impulsive like
movements, right? Like
yes.
he struck
And
real bad and everything. And we were really good friends. And I introduced him to you. I said, if you're willing to give it a chance, I have somebody that I think is going to really be able to help you. Because I asked you, I said, do you think you're going to be able to, help him out? And you said, yeah, the guides say that I will be able to help him if he's willing to put the work in and do what he's got to do. Well, I- you can have the doctor's testimony on that one. No one he has known of, this doctor, because I went with him to the doctor said he has never in all his time seen anybody heal like he did from this disease. He wanted to know what he was doing that was so different, because he said, I stopped all my medicine. I don't
yeah,
take
he
any
did.
medicine
I remember
anymore.
that. I remember the doctor being like, "What?"
He was shocked. He
Amazing
needed
what the
to
human
know.
body can do. We heal from the inside out. We heal ourselves. You know.
Right. And you were giving him, I think it was 2 healings in the beginning, a week, I think it was,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yep. Yep.
And you told him to change his diet. He came off all his meds. And it got to the point he was so bad when you first started seeing him, he was taking an Uber driver. He couldn't even drive anymore. That's how bad it was. He had to stop driving. And I said to him, listen, you got to stop driving because you're going to end up killing somebody, because his eyes would close. He'd be shaking so bad. It was a constant thing he was going into. And it got worse and worse. And that's when I said, I know of somebody that I think could get you well. And he's like, let's try it. And that doctor, if I live to be 1,000 years old, I will never, ever forget that doctor's face, because I went with him and he said
Because
to
they
me,
don't all believe
Michelle,
in all alternative therapies.
When you have a
he
doctor
said,
willing to even ask those kind of questions, it's very important to
But not
communicate.
everybody believes in
Some
energy
doctors will
healing.
be like,
well, that's just it. Because he said to me, he goes, Michelle, what am I going to tell this doctor? I
yeah,
said, you could tell him the truth. He's like, I'm going to tell him a psychic healed me. I said,
from a distance.
I
From a
said, well,
distance.
you could
From a
take it a step
distance.
Yeah.
further
I
and
never,
say,
He wasn't even ever in
and
person.
he never came once in person.
no,
Never.
never,
Never.
ever,
He was
never.
completely all distance. In fact, 90% of my clients are distance.
I don't think you ever met him in person. Oh, wait, yes, you met him
Once.
once when
Yeah,
you came
yeah.
to visit me that time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, you never, ever did this. It was all distant healing. I mean, and to see the doctor's face, that's just a moment I will never, ever forget.
That's
And
amazing.
when he said, Michelle, what am I going to tell the doctor? I said, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth. And he ended up, he's like, nobody's going to believe me. And I said, well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's up to you, what you want to do. I mean, if it was my doctor, I would have told the whole truth. Either take it or leave it. What can
Yeah.
I tell you?
Well, it's a little, most people don't, it's, I think it's almost so, um, you know, it maybe it's like, because to some people, it's like more like, oh my God, how could this possibly be working? How could I
Yeah.
feel this good? How could all of these medications or all this stuff not be what fixed it all this time? And I think it's when you combine everything, because energy healing works from the inside. It doesn't only work with your physical body, it's also working with your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and you're putting all that together. And then when information is coming through, or they're saying, hey, this is affecting things, this is affecting things. When you start adding all those things up and you get like 5 things that are affecting one area, and you start getting those out, the body heals, and if, especially if you can get it soon enough before it's like, you have 80 years of it in that one area, never doing anything for it. And, some people just, they don't really care, they're just used to not
No.
feeling well. And other people are more like, no, no, I don't want to, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you're willing. And that's what I mean.
Yeah, if you're willing. I was just gonna say
spent
that.
a number of
Right.
years staying in that place and you never did anything because you didn't care. See, that's the wording. Didn't care.
Yep.
That's a whole different thing from when I don't care if you're 110. If
Now,
you're willing and you really want to, and you really know that you're open to receiving, or it doesn't matter what it is.
I'm a perfect instance of it. Here I am. You can't make this up. How many times did I say to you, Jackie, I'm 62 years old, and you're like, Michelle, age has nothing to do with
No,
this.
it's just a number.
Yep. Yep.
no.
Listen, in this world, our soul has zero number, by the way. Your soul, as far as I'm concerned, there's not an age. Our physical body has an age. And sometimes if I tune into somebody, they'll feel older than their number, or younger than their number, like on an essence, way, because some people are old souls,
Right.
But like our soul in general, like I said, I know people where they're, again, 70 years old, but to me, when I'm with them, it's like they're 20. So, or vice versa, 20-year-olds that feel like they're like 110.
At times, I'm like a 5-year-old to you,
Yeah.
and other times, I'm like a 90-year-old.
But I think, don't you agree? I think we all like we do feel lighter, and maybe like younger than our age. And I forget sometimes my age.
Well, I think the spirit realm is anti-aging. The more you tap into it, the you kind of shifting over to that vibration, which is automatically healing for the
Yeah.
human body.
What do you think, Dana?
Well, listen, I've known you a long time now, Jackie. I don't know how long, 10 or 15 years
Oh yeah.
Wow.
at least.
least
And it's like I've taken energy healing with you, and I have felt it myself because I was open to it. I learned how to be open to it. At first I was trying too hard, and I wasn't getting getting any place. But then when I just let go of it, and then things started happening. And I remember working on somebody, and you just put your hands across, and you can feel the pain from the heat coming off their body.
Yeah. Yeah, because
And
Dana took she took the class where I taught,
Oh, so you got to do energy healing, Dana?
I
Yeah.
did, yes.
Wow.
And it was, I thought it was remarkable, and it's like a unique experience because
Most people have no idea what we are.
yeah. So
Cool.
and I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I,
Yeah.
I wanted to feel it because I want to try all this stuff, and I'm pretty much I believe in visualization and meditation for healing a
Yeah.
lot too, because I've got some things going on, but they're all being very good. They're all behaving themselves.
How did you come into the store? When did you come in?
Huh?
How did it start for you?
Ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting.
Oh,
That was it?
how did I meet Jackie?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, well, let me tell you. I was
yeah.
I live up here in the woods in Pennsylvania by myself.
2010, you met me, Dana.
Wow.
And what?
it was like 2010 or something
Something
like
like that.
that. We
Well, I live in the woods in Pennsylvania by
15 years
myself with
ago.
my cats, and I was in bed asleep, and all of a sudden I woke up because it felt like somebody was in bed with me. And I was freaked out. And I thought, "Oh my God, somebody's in my house. Somebody's going to do me harm." And then I just lay there, and then I didn't feel it. Then I jumped out of bed and there's nobody there. I checked the whole house. There's nobody there. 3 nights in a row happens. Finally, on the third night, I'm realizing that this is a spirit. There's somebody there who is coming to visit, wants to stay with me, and I don't want him to stay with me. It's like, and I just said, I said, "You're scaring me." And I said very quietly, "You know what? You're scaring me. You have to leave." And the next day, I looked in the newspaper, and there was an ad for ghost hunting, cl- um, ghost hunting classes, right? He was teaching ghost hunting, and that was
Yeah.
Jackie's class. So I signed up, and I went there. There was like 25 people. It was a huge mass of people there,
Yeah.
and I did all the classes, and that's how I met Jackie. And then it turned, and my first question was, "Has this ever happened to anybody with somebody, a ghost gets in bed with you?" And it's like, it's like, and it turns out that has happened to
Yes.
people.
A lot of
And
people.
That's exactly
yeah,
how it happened to me
Yes.
too.
and
Mhm.
and
No
but
kidding. Yeah.
when the first time it happens, oh boy, that just freaked me out a lot.
Well, time
And
stops for a second. Time probably stopped. You're probably just like frozen.
Right when it's happening.
yes,
Because
I
on a
was frozen.
human level, you don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Not at that time, you know.
Yeah, so 3 nights in a row, and I figured there's something up here, that I'm not dealing with properly. So he left, and he never came back. But it was
So
that
you
was
had an idea. You kind of just knew like this is something, but
yeah,
yeah.
that was a wake up call in a way. And then
Wow.
after that, my mother, I think in between that, my mother passed away, and then she walked into my living room, right in front of me, 3 months after she died.
Wow.
And sat down in the daylight and sat down, and she always did this, twiddled her fingers, right, and mumbled to herself, and she was sitting on my footstool here, twiddling her fingers and mumbling to herself, and then she got up and walked right through the glass door and was gone. And then I thought,
Wow.
oh
What was
my
your immediate reaction? Just frozen solid
I would say, "Oh my God, mom, is that you? How can that be you? How
with a
can?"
little bit of excitement there. Oh, okay.
Well,
Of
yes, of course. I says,
course.
"Of course," and then I was left with a feeling that she wanted to come and see me, and then she was gone, and that she was, to let me know that she was out there someplace.
Have
Mhm.
you ever thought about this throughout your life, like over the years, just throughout your careers and everything, like the spirit realm and mediumship and all that
Well,
stuff? Or
yes
is
and
this
no, because I read a lot of things. I read a lot of books in my 20s and 30s about shamans and the spirit world and healings and these things that happen to people. And I always read books about it and very open to it.
Mhm.
And so, and then, I did, quite a bit of meditation. And sometimes, you can go pretty trippy when you're doing meditation. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
so yes, I was, yeah, so I had a big gap though for a while where I sort of didn't, I didn't even deal with that. And then when I met Jackie again, then I really went back into a full tilt boogie, you know, and, and then,
Yeah.
and then we did psychic development classes every week, and that was the best time. I really miss those, boy, Jackie. And
I
that
know.
was the best time. And she was teaching us how to do telepathy and to do remote healing and to do remote viewing and all kinds of stuff, and it's a learnable skill. It's a learnable skill. It's not,
Oh, anybody,
yeah,
everybody.
it's if you're
You,
open to
yeah.
it,
You
it's
have to believe you can
learnable.
do it, then you'll literally be able to do it. It's
And
that
Yes.
simple.
also, I think once you are like on a regular basis, kind of, you're always tuning into something,
Yes.
whether it's a session or a meditation or something you're doing on your own. um, I think our body, our human body, our human side is
Right.
always getting some balance because everybody gets wrapped up so much in life that
Mm.
it's sometimes life is just a lot. And if there isn't any
Yeah,
balance where you can just feel like, you know, peaceful and, like I know everything's going to be okay, right? A knowing, that's what, nips anxiety and depression and things like that, because we that usually we end up being prisoners of our own mind. And
Mm.
we just it's exhausting, like mentally, that way. But when we can start incorporating things in where it brings us a little bit of peace, or just a little bit of calm, or it doesn't matter in those moments. For those moments, if we can like embrace it and like immerse ourselves in it and just let go, like you guys are
That's where the
talking
healing
about,
comes in.
that's the thing.
That
It
healing,
does release so much, because
you know,
stress, tension, anxiety, depression, all those things, the whole inside of our body is just this massive, tense ball of sludge. And
Yeah.
it's really hard because, and we're
inflammation.
constantly battling it. Yes. And that causes inflammation. Inflammation is the number one cause of so many things: illnesses, disease, conditions, issues. And keeping that down, and keeping, like, being able to put things where they need to go, so we know it's going to be okay.
Well,
Everything's, we got to always do that,
what I find
even
very
when
help
it doesn't feel okay.
yeah. Well, just about every day, at least for about 5 or 10 minutes, I listen to these YouTube uh videos of the sound frequencies, the healing
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
sure, sure, yeah.
yep,
the healing frequencies,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they keep my blood pressure down. And I've healed my own blood pressure. But
Mhm.
and I used to take medicine and I weaned myself off of it.
That's great.
And
Great.
I don't have any problems with it. When I go to the doctor now, it's like 114
Yeah,
over
yeah.
55,
When you find time to meditate,
Probably anxiety and fear made it high
yeah.
when you were worried about, I gotta get, because sometimes we like overthink it, like I gotta get my blood pressure down. But
Yeah,
if we start to panic about getting the blood
then it
pressure
goes up.
down, we can't. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yep.
So
So
but I find that music has helped me a lot, those
yeah,
those and
yeah. Sound therapy.
sound therapy is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh God, Michelle, you make me want to go see Jackie now. And
I'm telling you,
But you know what she did? She did a remote healing on me when it was my back. Well,
Oh yeah, that's right. That was like
and
what
I
a
was
month ago,
walking, and
a
you
couple
told
months
me
ago.
when you were gonna, you didn't, what did you told me you were gonna do it in the day, and I didn't know exactly when, and I had to go to
Yeah, and then
Walmart.
I told you when it was done.
And then when I was in Walmart walking around, all of a sudden I felt like, and
Yeah,
yup.
and it's an actual
I
feeling
thought
too.
I thought I was gonna like,
It's,
I
you can't
melt
mess it
to the
up.
floor. And
Yeah.
Jackie said, I just, did you feel it?
I texted her and I was like, I just finished doing a healing on you.
And I said,
Yeah,
oh
you
yeah,
can't you can't confuse that with anything else.
no.
Dana,
Yeah,
And
it
I'll tell you,
doesn't.
the distance healing really
Yes.
is
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter
real.
where you are,
The
because
very first
no.
no
time,
energy doesn't know distance.
very first time I got a healing from you was years ago. But I remember, first of all, I was like, healing, because you offered a healing to me.
Yeah.
And after reading, and I was like, healing, what's a healing? I've heard of things like people that do Reiki and shamanism and things, but I never actually like thought about it like that much. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try a healing. And it was, I think I did 15 minutes. And just yeah,
Let's try to bring a friend.
yeah, I don't know what, yeah. But in that 10 minutes, I was able to go into a space that I hadn't been in a long time. I was in the middle of an extremely stressful job I was doing. I was always tense.
Mm,
I was always, just in that frame of mind where you're always go, 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 go. So during that healing, I remember I just drifted away, and I wasn't sleeping. It was a state of stillness. And when I got up off the table, I was like, oh, that's amazing. I feel great. I'm getting in the truck. I'm driving home. It's getting lighter. As I drive home, it's getting lighter. And that feeling was there for like 2 days. And
mm.
I was like, I haven't been in a state of stillness like this in years. And I was like, okay, so there's something to this. Okay. There's really, really something to this. And then I forgot how long later, months later, I tried a distance healing, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter if I was in person or not. It is the same thing, and it's
Mm.
real. It works. You
Yeah.
just gotta
No,
try
Yeah,
it.
it's true. No matter, I mean, I'm down south here. Do you know how many times Jackie says to me, she'll text me, I did your healing. And, just so that you know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it. It's so true. She'll say to me, Michelle, just so that you know, I did a deep healing on you today and drink lots of water.
I know what
Oh,
you're gonna
and
Yeah,
you
you
say.
gotta
may
drink
be
water.
going to the bathroom a lot.
Well,
Well, when she tells you that, believe it.
Well, that's all the toxins
No,
coming out.
don't stay in stores too long because it's the truth. That's all I can say. I mean, when she does a healing, I mean, a cleansing, it's just like taking a colon cleanse sometimes. I kid you
That's
not.
only if there's a lot of gunk in there, though.
I kid you not. But you feel so good. Like,
you almost
I
forget what
mean,
it's like to feel light and
oh
temporarily
my God.
thoughtless. When's the last time you were thoughtless about something? In a good way. Of just relaxed.
Mm.
It's not common right now for a lot of people.
I
Yeah.
mean, I used to go in person all the time. Now here I am, I'm living states away down south, and it's the same exact effect as if I was there laying on your bed because I've had them in
Mhm.
person and I've had them here. And there is
Yeah.
no
Yep.
difference, no
Yeah.
difference whatsoever.
The same thing
I
with the
mean,
medicine with me too. How much medicine was I on just generally for sleep schedules and anxiety or anything else I was taking?
yeah,
I haven't taken anything in a couple of years, like more than a couple of years, and I feel better off it than I ever did on it. And it was mostly
yeah.
just a psychological state that I was permanently in that I couldn't get myself out of. It happens so slowly over time too. You don't realize how stressed and packed your brain really is.
Yeah.
I was on two
Major
antidepressants. I
relief of
take
having
nothing.
good girl.
Yeah.
You
amazing.
can't make this up. You really can't. And
No.
somebody that has bad legs, bad knees, I mean, I feel like I never had an accident.
Mm.
I mean, I really feel, I mean, Jackie will ask me every week, what do you want me to work on? And I'm like, well,
Yeah, because
work.
we maintain, and then and Michelle gets sessions too. So if there's something big that she needs, or insight into or whatever, and I have to say she's one of the few people that that get guidance, and man,
You could
she can
say it.
take
It's
it
okay. I give you
because
carte blanche.
I always say I don't candy coat things with whatever. I'm just the messenger. So if a certain message comes through and they say, hey, this person can, just lay it out on the line for them, do it. Sometimes they're tactful in other ways, but they always give it to people straight. And even if it's our loved one, but when the guide certain guidance comes in and they really do sock it to her.
Like my father,
And like
because you
she
used to
always
tell me
takes it
things.
like a champ.
You used to tell me things that my father would say, and I'd be like,
You have
that don't
to.
really sound like my father's the way he talks. And then it was like, all right, you want it? I'm going to give it to you the way it is then. And he would come in and I'd be like, whoa, he would say stuff that I swore I would think he was standing in front of me. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's my father. To this day, that man comes through. My dad, God bless him, he comes through constantly. He'll say to Jackie, my daughter's off on another mission again. Like he calls me out on everything. I'm like, geez, I can't do anything. I mean,
Everything.
he calls
You
me
can't
out.
even like psychic readings, you can't get a reading and not expect like because a lot of people get it
A
and
couple
they're
gut
like
punches.
you can't like expect to like be not like to hide anything is basically what I'm saying because they're gonna it's gonna come out. So if you
They're
want
watching
guidance
you.
and you want
You
direction
want truth.
and you want like seriously like some
And it's the
some
truth you're not
guidance
going to
in specific
expect.
areas,
It's gonna,
then you want to be able to be
yeah.
okay with taking whatever it is they're going to give and man, but when they do it and they offer it, if you're somebody drawn or guided to do that, it's amazing because there's a reason why. There's a
Mm.
reason why you were led, whether it's a loved one or your own intuition, or just like I feel like I need just some validation on what I have for what I want to do or how I want to go about something. I think most people who are more intuitive and maybe have some psychic abilities and things like that, sessions are just validation and
Mm.
confirmation for them. And sometimes we need that. Even a psychic can use a psychic. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Just because you get a confirmation, yeah, you know what, this is what I have, this is my intent, this is what I have set for what what my goals are for myself, or where I'm at with my health, or where I'm at with relationship or whatever. And a lot of times it'll be like, yeah, sessions for you are like, it's more of a validation and confirmation for you, like, hey, yeah, you're on the right path, or like, hey, you're a little bit off on the dirt road riding a donkey on a bumpy hill.
That's me.
We need we need to get back on the smooth road.
Yeah.
Gotta tell that one little story of my father a couple weeks ago when you said to me, Michelle, how's your diet? How you doing? I'm
Oh,
doing good. She goes, your father is showing me you eating something with sticks, like they're these long things, sticks. And I'm like,
Six.
don't know. Don't,
Yeah, right.
know. You're eating something. What are you eating that you
yeah,
shouldn't be eating? And I'm like,
yeah.
oh man,
About
this
French
man's even
fries.
watching me. He's
Oh,
watching me. And it was
ratted
freaking
you out.
French fries.
Yes.
I've been on a
He
French
rats
fry
her out all the
kick.
time though. He rats her
He
out.
rats me out constantly, this
Well,
man.
listen, you're showing up every week. You're doing the work, so he
He knows
feels
you can
he
take it.
feels that okay. Well, you're in. You're not
Yep,
somebody that doesn't want
that's
to hear
it.
it.
I
You
take it
know.
the way. And to this day, my son down here, every time we'll go to fast food, he'll look at me and he'll be like, your father's watching you eat those sticks. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, he is.
Yeah. It's amazing though. And I think all of you, like any, if you guys thought back to how you were when you were maybe like younger or in your 20s, do you feel like now that you've found more of like that spiritual side, that you
Oh,
feel more, you know, you are more relaxed, or getting to a place where you're being able to, handle things with a different, you know, energy or a different approach, and not feeling like it completely takes over your life if something goes wrong, or what I mean, right?
1000%. Think back. I mean, Rodney, you're married to Jackie. You even know this.
Yeah.
Think back years ago when something would go wrong with me. I couldn't wait a whole week to talk to Jackie.
No, phones
I
ringing. There's flare guns
a
outside.
train wreck,
Yeah.
crying
Yeah.
hysterically, Jackie, what am I
Yeah.
going to do? Blah, blah, blah. It was the end of the world for me.
Mhm.
Now
Well,
I've
but over
reset.
time, you're also, you're gaining a certain type of strength that all of us,
Well, yeah, I think
you're
we're
you're 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 strengthening a
evolving
muscle
and
over
evolving.
time, a different one that we never really had to strengthen before.
Mhm.
Relying on things to make us happy or relying on people to make us feel better. Like, yeah, I rely on her, vice versa. We all do, but we also have learned through her to how to cope with it, how to do our
Right.
things, and then eventually by doing that, we've programmed ourselves to be this way. I've programmed myself to get anxiety, and I've deprogrammed myself. When things come
I'm
up, it's
completely
almost like a
different.
reflex. It automatic. I don't have to try anymore. It's a long process. It's evolution. But
And you
yeah,
and I, Rodney, I think are a lot of the same. Like I noticed you used to, you like on job sites or whatever, we would get aggravated at the same
sure,
things. Our tempers would be the same.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was always fun seeing somebody the same way, but we would always backtrack. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like we'd get in that
You
space
gotta catch
and
yourself.
then Jackie would be
You gotta
like,
you gotta be the one
"I
because like how many times have we all done something with this anger or emotion, and we know we're doing it while we're doing it, but we're still doing it.
Yeah.
Holding
yeah,
yourself accountable is you're battling yourself.
It's
It's
also
really
fun,
yes,
and
hard.
light and fun. No
Yeah.
computer
But then
throwing.
you take a deep
No.
breath, you look around, and you remember this is all a game.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be that
No
serious.
punching walls.
No, it don't. I am a completely
Mm-mm.
different person from years ago. the things that I just let roll off my back now, I'm like, I can't even entertain it anymore. I really can't. I won't
Mhm.
entertain it. Not my circus, not my
Getting to know the
monkey.
spirit side is
I think it's also because at a certain point we realize our, our well-being, and we're worth more than that. We're worth more
Yes,
than retaining and absorbing all the things around us that, number one, we can't control, or all
right.
the heavy, unhappy people. Like, I try to, teach people, if something starts to steal your joy, it isn't worth it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
And
You
that's the
or
lesson I'm going
or
through right
we need
now.
to evaluate, what can I do with this situation that I can change it better, or that maybe that we can work with this, especially if it's another person that you have to work that with. But a lot of times it's like, what can I do? Is there anything I can do that can be part of this, that would be make me a better version of myself, or that would make the situation better than it is. And if there isn't anything we can do, if we really are doing the best, we're doing all we can, that's when we really, that's those are the tests. Those are the
Oh,
tests we
yeah.
get, where we're being tested on, okay, we're putting you in this again. What are you gonna do with it?
Mhm.
And they
Where do you
And
test
see
don't
and
yourself
get
at?
retest.
upset when you because I used to get upset all the time. Like, I already passed this test. Why am I getting it again? No,
Yeah.
you just found it. You just found it.
Rodney,
You
you're
have to
just
be
like
okay
me. I'm
with
like, why are they doing
yeah.
this to me again?
We're just in the world. This is the world, whether I'm here or not. And there's going to be some crossfire. There's going to be some things coming our way,
Yeah.
and you just got to learn how to divert it, and
Yeah.
just keep on going on the same track. I used to let one little thing veer me off course, and my week is done.
Yep.
Now it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
reprogramming, retraining, and
And
through
learning
divine,
patience.
especially through the divine, through Jackie, through a spiritual medium or anything, you're reconnecting into what you already are. So there's already going to be a familiarity there,
Yeah.
but you have to let yourself see it and feel it.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
most of my life I didn't feel the way I feel now because I was just being a pure human. We're way more than that. You can
Yeah.
embrace all of
Yeah. Yeah. We have to be.
I don't like being a human all the time.
it. Yeah, sometimes it's a little heavy. It's heavy
Well,
down here.
a lot of people, when we are more spiritual too, we were put here. We do face sometimes heavier tests
Yeah.
and go through more things than average person. Because we, whether it's we are here to help and guide and teach. And a lot of times you'll come across people that in your life that maybe has been gone through the same thing. You're like, oh my God, I went through that like 5 years ago. And
Yeah.
and then you're able to share, right? That's all part of us all,
Yep.
evolving and ascending, and helping each other. And I mean, I did not have a lot of patience when I was young. And if I sit and think back to like how I deal, because trust me, sometimes I still don't. But when I was in my 20s,
You were a shot
hell
man.
no. I remember my mom always joking with me, and I always say, she's always like, I think God forgot you when they were handing out the patients up there.
They forgot mine too. Don't worry about it.
Because she'd be like, it's like 0 to 100, like zero patients. And like, but look at like all these years later, I mean, that, because we're different when as we go through stages in life, and I couldn't even imagine not having patience, because that's probably why I have my bucket's so full now. It's almost too full.
I
But like we could see how we've changed, You, I mean, I'm sure people have stories, there's gotta be story. Dana, do you have any stories from like when you were young? Like how you dealt with
Ooh,
who you are
ooh.
now?
Yes, I must say I was, yeah, I was a feisty one. And I did, but if anybody got in my way, it was like, watch out, because did not hesitate to let them know what I thought. And, and that didn't always go well for me.
That's that Sagittarius background again.
Yeah. And,
So
but,
funny.
but certainly over I have really calmed down.
But that's growth. Think about all the
Yeah.
growth. That's
Yeah.
huge. Some
Well,
people think
and I
exactly
took a
what
lot of
they're.
I took a lot of shaman classes, and I
Yeah.
had a bunch of shaman weekends that were just kind of life changing, also because
Mhm.
the shamanic uh, journey is another spiritual journey that is just I learned
Amazing.
things that I was got messages in my shamanic journeying that taught me how to take care of an illness I had. And I didn't know it at the time, but then I took all the information I got and went to a doctor, and he said, what about this, this, and this, and this? He said, he said, well, if that's what you're talking about, this is the illness you have, and this is what you should be taking. And it was
Mhm.
exactly right. And I
Yep.
got that in the shamanic journey,
Yep.
Wow.
and it
Amazing.
was
Isn't it
just,
crazy? People like it's just another testimony to how like, yeah, this stuff is it
yes,
can
it's
really
out
change
there.
your
It's
life.
This
out
is
there.
one of those things it's so important to experience. How do you trust, sometimes what people have to say, like this, the experience, I think, is what really is, that's the only thing you can do. I don't know how else to say it. It's hard to
Well,
find a word.
yeah, and there's a bunch of areas
You have to really go for it.
that are open to this kind of thing, and
Yeah.
whichever one resonates with you, you know,
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
it's out there.
Yeah, it
There's
doesn't
no
matter
discrimination
what
against
you're
any
doing.
practices.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
It
No,
all going to the same
it's
place.
everything.
To what you're drawn to or what's feeling like,
Yeah, that's the beauty of the world. There's different
yeah.
options.
And there are
Yes.
there's lots of doctors for anybody who's got things going on like medically. There are a lot of doctors who work with, they do both, that they'll work hand in hand with a holistic person or somebody who follows more holistic path. I have plenty of clients where the doctor will say, like, how are you doing on like this end with the alternative healing and work hand
Yes.
in hand with the traditional at the same time. And they totally believe in that because whatever is going to be good for the person and their well-being, there's
That's
certain things a medication can't fix on technically on a deep emotional or mental or even a spiritual level, or for somebody feeling peace. It's all of it, because sometimes their stress is the illness, like
Yes.
the fear of the
Yes.
illness.
You know
You know
what?
what I mean? So,
And I have a doctor that I went from a traditional doctor who all she did was sit down at her computer and ask me how I was doing and tell me that there was nothing she could do for me. And then
Oh, wow.
she's not a nurse practitioner. She's a little more than that, but she's a holistic person. She's got a practice here in town. And she is like that. Her whole thing was, I was tired of giving uh, pills to people. I didn't want, it was
yeah,
not, it was not
You're not
serving them.
fixing anything.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
fixing anything. And
No,
so,
I get some people, I'm sure certain medicines are like really detrimental, but I think the pharmaceutical
What do you
companies
mean?
have
But
really
oh,
you know,
yes.
pills
They're
So,
don't
making a
address the
buck.
symptoms.
yes,
symptoms.
The
Yeah.
we
pills
talk
address
about
the symptoms, but not
vitamins.
the condition,
Yeah,
right? The
we talk
condition.
about vitamins all the time. And she suggests
Yes.
this,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
what I was
suggest
going
this.
through.
So she
Vitamins.
works with me, and so she's a partner in my health. And
Mhm.
that I think is really important.
Absolutely.
That's
And
somebody.
anything out of the
Yeah.
box where it isn't just like, hey, take this.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you get a headache, and a lot of people will take ibuprofen or aspirin or something to alleviate the headache, right? But
Yeah.
where is the headache coming from? What are they doing that's giving them the headache? So that's why they're
Yeah.
like, okay, but we need to get into what's the condition. What is the thing that's causing this? What is the thing
Yes.
that's causing the pain in the knee? What is the thing that's causing your anxiety? What is the thing that's causing even if it's just a feeling of like, I don't know, something just doesn't feel like, I just feel like I'm lost, right?
Yeah.
So like it's easy to try to take something because it's got you sometimes need it to help with pain and alleviating, like we said, some of the things like that. But if you're doing it hand in hand, if it's somebody that has like a serious condition, a lot of times they can start feeling better way sooner. You know what I
Right.
mean? And nip things that people didn't even think they could. You
Yeah.
know.
That's the way. Yeah, I've gone through, some stuff, and I've, gotten on the other side of it, with help, and from,
We all need that.
but I don't let them talk me into things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Know
Yeah.
yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
go
immediately,
with your gut.
Yeah.
and I know immediately that if they suggest something, I'm saying I'm not taking that. Forget about it. You know, or I have a doctor says, "Well, you're never gonna heal that. You know, that's always going to be like this." And I said, "Okay," I walk right out the door. Then
Yeah.
anybody who says
It's
never,
crazy. They can just,
says never, can't do this, then I'm sorry, you've lost me. You know,
Yeah.
That's when you got to call up Jackie and say, Jackie, do you know what they wanted me to do? And you know how many times the medicine, I'd be like, Jackie, they want to give me this. You know how many times she'd be like, Michelle, just take this vitamin or that vitamin. I'm getting guided to tell you. And it
okay.
was A-okay. A-okay. No drugs. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Isn't it wonderful?
I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. That's
It's
all I could
phenomenal.
say. I mean, she's
You know, I believe.
so do I.
Yeah.
I believe there's nobody in this world, nobody, and especially when my father is coming in telling me, I know. I
Yeah,
know this is it.
she's just telling you, she's just teaching you what you can do, you know,
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's what she's doing, you know.
Yep.
She's
it's just the guidance. She gives you the guidance.
We're just a
She
messenger.
delivers the
You know,
messages. The
yeah,
messenger.
but she's teaching you
and
also to listen to your
how to
own body.
apply them and how to commit to yourself and
Yes.
Yes.
how to make yourself a priority and how you have, you know, we all have more value than a lot of times we think we do because regardless of like what other, you know, other things have gone on in our life or how other people have made, you know, us feel at times. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing is us always being able to trust our intuition and go with that. And to have as light, it's really hard to feel happy and light. I always say light and fluffy and all that when there's a lot going on in someone's life, you know, whether it's them not feeling good, whether they're worried about things going on in the world, whether
Oh,
they're not in a happy relationship or maybe they have family issues, right? Like, so it's easy because people are like, yeah, that's easy to say, but it isn't because it isn't easy actually to say that because you know, people who do this work, we all know that's not easy to do. So when we're
right.
saying it, it's not because we think it's easy to say, it's because we're passing a message of, hey, your guidance is now it's time for you to lighten this up because you're worth it. So let's do the things we need to do that can help you, no matter what those techniques are, feel
Yeah.
a little bit better with everything. To know
Yeah.
that it's only it will be temporary. You know, it is a temporary situation that will change. Everything changes, you know,
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
we don't again we don't want to, you know, I mean I'll help as many people as I can if they want it. That's just that's we all want to do that. We all want to, you know, be the best we can. You know, at least I always say we should want to be, like I said earlier, a better the best version of ourselves, right? You
Right.
know,
Mm.
we're not all the time because we are human. We got on our human feelings. So yeah, sometimes people are being butt smacks in love and light. And and we could just purge that and put it out there. But like I said, we're not saints. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're still gonna be have bad days and be in bad moods and react. But like if we can laugh about it, so we get angry, we get annoyed, maybe we have to cry for 5 minutes. But you know, if you could turn around and lighten it somehow, focus on something to make, even if it's laughing at ourselves, you know, that's the thing. You know, we gotta find something. And I think it's in there. You know, anybody who's listening to
and have
this
patience.
episode in particular
Mhm.
was guided to because it's not random that you're listening all the way to this point in the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Right.
Somebody
And trust it too. If you're gonna do this and you're gonna play with it, trust it. Because like, you know, there be times where I'm really upset and you like take 3 deep breaths, and I'm like, I still feel the same. Why don't I feel any better? So like
not working.
I'm just battling nothing. It's
My
literally just
God, you're on
nothing.
vacation.
Yeah.
My God, mommy.
So
Ooh,
funny.
put your face in a bowl full of ice water. I've been doing that every morning
Oh
now.
yeah, I think
That's
that's really
great.
good for your skin.
Oh,
The
you know
nervous
what?
system.
Huh?
That's that's
Cold
great for the
plunge.
nervous system.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What is it's your cold protein something or other, and it's like whoa. You know, the first time I did it was like, oh, that hurts. But I've been doing it every morning now for like 4 days, and it's
Wow.
gotten
Cool.
better each
Like a
morning.
Really? You're really doing it?
Love the
I'm
cold
doing it
plunge.
every morning. I get up. That's the first thing I do. I do my Wim Hof breathing. You know,
Oh, you like Wim Hof? Oh, Wim Hof's awesome. How much
yeah,
have you
and
been
then
there?
I do 30 deep breaths with Wim Hof, and then I put my
Yeah.
face in the ice water for 30 seconds, 2 times. I only get to 20 seconds the second time. And then I do get on the floor and I do plank and then 25 squats.
Good job.
Oh, wow.
And that's
Yeah.
my morning routine now.
Nice. I like that.
But
Great.
the cold thing feels amazing after you get your face out
Yeah.
of the water, you know, but
Yeah,
when
it wakes you up, right?
oh when you're in it though, man, it's intense.
Every single morning, it's cold
Oh,
usually.
it's
So
right?
what I'll
Like
do is
16 degrees.
I have a hard time waking up. I always have, even as a kid. I just like sleep. So I put my head. I would
Rick Van
I
Botany.
would go into the bathroom, open the shower curtain. I'll turn the hot water on immediately, and I'll stick my head underneath it. And you got to stick with the cold water until it warms up. I'll force myself to sit through the ice cold water to wake me up,
Until
and
the
then
heat comes
it'll
up.
automatically warm it up because it's the hot water, and then I'll pull my head out, and then that'll get me up.
Yeah.
I
It's
have to.
amazing. That
But
makes
it
you
still
feel
feels good.
amazing, doesn't it?
Oh, if you could do like a sauna.
I'm going to have to try that.
Into a cold
Just
plunge.
stick our
Yeah.
face in the
You know,
sun.
it's good for your
Yeah, I
skin.
know.
You know, I think it's really good for
Yeah.
your skin.
It's good for you. It does
Yeah.
things to your brain, your body, releases
Yeah.
endorphins, releases like dopamine and stuff, I think. Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, this is fabulous, guys.
Yes.
You know, and you know what? It's pouring down rain
Is
Yeah,
it?
we
it?
have a
Just
bad
here
storm.
too.
We have a bad storm.
Yeah.
and windy. Yeah.
Well, we're lucky the computer is still
I
on.
know. There's a little bit of flickering going on.
All right. I won't tell you what it's like here then.
Oh, it's probably nice down there.
No,
Okay.
it's chilly. Believe it or not, it's in the 50s.
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
50s right
Really?
now.
I think
I woke
we're
up this morning to it was 26 this morning,
It was 20 degrees.
and it's only
Oh
been
my
November.
God, it's that cold?
26. Yeah. We're having some like
Yeah.
mini freeze again, and then it'll be warmer. We had our first frost like
We
mid
had
October.
snow.
we had snow.
We
Sent
had
you
a
the
quarter inch
snow
last week.
pictures.
Yeah, we had snow.
Yeah.
And
Dusty.
Already.
Wow.
everything seems to be a little earlier this year, a little bit quicker. Everything's happening a little faster this year.
Yep. We'll
You know,
have to.
I like I
should
like
make
where we
episodes
live. I
for
like this
snow
area
ride.
of the country.
Yeah,
You know?
Friday.
we could do
Sleigh Friday.
Anyway, wow,
Great.
guys, thank you very much for all of this. This was really
fun.
good.
Thanks for joining.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having me on.
And I always forget, like, to let people know that because we moved from our platform we were on for like 14 years to YouTube. So this is new for anybody that finds us. And at this point, when we're doing this episode, I think we have like 11 subscribers because we moved an entire platform to here, and
Yeah.
not everybody has found us yet or is on YouTube.
So your YouTube, Jackie Gear, what do you?
Among the Realms.
Among the realms.
Among the Realms is our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so if you want, obviously if you're listening to this, you're probably on it.
Yeah.
But if you my website for my services is trinitymetaphysical.center.com. If anybody wants to check that out and see that. And then we do have a couple of things. I have a Among the Spirits event that I am doing on Zoom on January 29th. And if that will be on the website if you want to look at that, which is pulling in like past loved ones and doing some past lives, and if any of your guides are with you and things like that. And then also I just got my spirit journal published,
Yeah.
so it's
Yay.
ready to go. And so if those of you who want to work more on tuning into your signs and messages that you're receiving and things like that, it's a journal to help you with, how to do that. And there's prompts in there and things like that. So we've got a lot going on.
All good.
Project.
All good stuff going on. I can't wait. We need more
Yeah.
classes, Jackie. We got to do more
I know.
classes.
I'm just starting to get more up on Zoom too, so more
Yeah.
people can
Yeah. We're gonna fabricate it.
do that as well. So
Let me know.
yep, there's so much. But this was fun. We'll have more of these. I love testimonials and things like that where people share experiences, and
I have lots of them.
yeah.
Endless.
Was it Trinity Metaphysical what?
trinitymetaphysical.center.com.
Center. That's it.
How long have you known me, Dana?
I think you're on the website.
There we go.
Work on the website.
No, well, that same website is still up here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there 20 years later. Been around a long time. It has. So it's still there though. But yeah, it's exciting. We have lots of stuff going on, and I like doing it's cool doing the Zoom ones too because we can tune in with people from all over.
Yeah, this
So
turned
it's
out
nice.
great. Good quality.
Yeah.
Everything's great.
Yeah. So thanks
Great.
for hanging in with us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great night from Jackie.
Rodney.
Dana.
And Michelle.
Yay! All right, everyone.